French Polynesia, most people know the name of Tahiti, but the legal name of the country is French Polynesia. And it consists of probably 150 islands. I mean, they go all over the place. All of these islands here, basically, are French Polynesia. And it covers a lot of area. And you have flights all over the place. You can fly to almost anywhere on on Tahiti Air. And it's really very interesting. But most people don't do much of that. They just go to 3 islands. You'll fly into Papeete, the capital of French Polynesia. It's on the island of Tahiti. So if you say you're going to go to Tahiti, it's what we all say. And that's what we just say, and everybody knows that. But not many people know where French Polynesia is. But you do go to Tahiti because you land in Papeete, and it's on the island of Tahiti. You can stay there. Many people just stay there. They have hotels all the way around the island. It's quite a big island. You have a little bus that goes around, and you can ride that. You can rent a car or scooters. I recommend the little Vespas or little motor scooter type thing, and just speed around like that and stop at the beaches where there are people swimming, not only tourists. Remember, I mentioned that it's important that you ask the locals if you can swim in any beach. But they have a wide variety of very nice hotels, more than adequate. And as a result, usually you get there either late at night, like midnight or something, or you get there early morning, sometimes 5 a.m. And the flights to the other islands, if you're going to go to Moorea or to Bora Bora or Huahine, you have to wait until like 7, 8 to catch it. So you may have to overnight in Papeete if you want. And as a result, stay in Tahiti, the island of Tahiti, for at least 3 days if you really want to see it. It's sort of it's a beautiful island. As you go driving around, and make sure you go around and stop and see things. And great beaches, great snorkeling. It's very touristy. Papeete is a very busy town. And now it's not very big. It's very tropical. It almost reminds you of some of the Caribbean towns, little sort of old wood buildings, some of them. And it gets the impression that it needs a good paint job, but you don't want them to paint it. You want to keep that atmosphere. And if you walk along the wharf there in Papeete, you'll see all these sailboats, mainly sailboats. And there'll be people sitting on them. And you go talk to them. And these people are amazing. They're sailing usually around the world. And sometimes there'll be a sign there saying, crew needed. So you may, if you like to sail, you think you can do it, just ask, you're looking for a mate? And they'll say, yeah. And they say, where are you going? Someone will say, I'm going to be going to Fiji, or I'm sailing to Australia, or I'm continuing around the world. And whatever they tell you, and if it appeals to you and you have the time, see if you can get a job there. And you'll go sailing around the world or wherever that boat's going. And every day it seems like there's 1 or 2 in there just looking for a crew. I guess they get to Tahiti and say, this is as far as I want to go, because Tahiti is a wonderful place. But wait till you go to the other islands. There's about, I don't know how many islands are there. There might be 100 in all of French Polynesia. But there's only a few, relatively few, that have people living on them and that you can fly to. And so Tahiti, if you're going to stay there, you need to go around it and you need to spend time in Papeete because it's really neat and great. They have good Chinese food there. And another island that everybody goes to is Moorea. You can actually see Moorea from the airport in Papeete. It's called Ta'a Airport. And if you ever saw the movie South Pacific, this film like in the 50s, and they're singing Bali High, in the background you see this island, and that is Moorea, taken from about where the airport is. And then she sings Bali High. And you can go over there by boat or by plane. And I usually go by plane. The boat doesn't take a long time, but to me it's a little rough once in a while. But if you go to Moorea, you should stay at least 4 nights, 3 full days, because it's big. It's not as big as Tahiti, but it's a big island. And you will want to go around it, and you'll want to spend time at the beaches and going to different restaurants. It's just a very relaxing place where people go and do nothing. And if you want to write books or anything like that, it's a good place to relax and do it. So as a result, you want at least 3 full days in Moorea. Now, the next island that everybody wants to go to is Bora Bora. Now, Bora Bora, I don't want to tell you this, but I'm going to have to. I really don't want you to go to Bora Bora because it's getting bigger and bigger and more people there. I've been going to Bora Bora since probably the 1960s, back in the days when nobody went to Bora Bora. And it's heaven. You go to land at the airport in Bora Bora. Bora Bora is an island with a beautiful lagoon, and surrounding the lagoon with the island, I better draw it. Okay, there's the island of Bora Bora, and then there's a bunch of islands right here. And one of the islands over here is the airport. And you land at the airport, and then you get off, and they have boats over there. Many of them are from the hotels, and some of them are just for like a ferry boat to get you over to the big main island. And but you're walking over there, and you get off the plane, and you walk around the building where you check in and all that, and you walk around, and you almost faint. You almost drop, and everybody goes, "Ah!" It's the most beautiful sight, I do believe, of any island in the world. You will look over to the lagoon area, and they have the mountain. It's the famous shot that you see, Bora Bora, where the mountains go jagged, and it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And that's why I firmly believe that when you're in Bora Bora, that you get it's expensive. You may have to mortgage your home and sell your soul, but it is expensive. But get a overwater bungalow facing, you're on one of these islands, or you can be over here. See, it's a lagoon. I didn't draw that quite right. Basically, it would be like this. And so get out here and you look here, and you see these mountains here, and you see the lagoon, because the boats are right there to pick you up. And you go there, and so wherever your hotel is, some of the hotels are on these islands, and they look straight at that. Some of them are over here, for example, or over here. And if you get the overwater bungalows, you can look across the lagoon and see these mountains there. But whatever you do, you want the overwater bungalow, and you want to be able to sit out there and look at that mountain lagoon. It's unbelievable. It truly is one of the most beautiful sights you'll see. Now, we haven't talked about the Maldives, but some of their islands the water is 100-foot visibility. But you don't have the lagoon with that mountain in the background. So I recommend that you just bite the dust, get the overwater bungalow, and thoroughly enjoy it. And you can just walk down the steps of your little deck, and you start snorkeling. And then you come back up and relax on the deck. And then you just have your bungalow. Then you walk across a little bridge that takes you to a little peninsula thing. And then you walk to the restaurant and the rest of the hotel. But do that. I cannot emphasize that enough. And most people stay about 4 days, 5 nights, 4 days in Bora Bora, because it's unbelievable. Now, I will be honest with you. The backside of that beautiful mountain range, the backside is kind of ugly. The other side of the island, the road goes completely around it. So everybody gets on their little mopeds, drive like little maniacs, and dodge the traffic and the locals. But there's a road goes like that. And the mountains, well, I didn't make it big enough. It goes like this. So you drive around here, and the backside is boring. You do it once and say, I've done it, and then you never leave this area. And it's fabulous. There are 4 or 5 other islands that people go to, like Huahine and Rangiroa. It's got 3 or 4 that like Rangi and Huahine, and all these. But there are tons of islands. I showed you how much space it covered. Now, the other set of islands that nobody goes to because they don't really have any hotels, no real hotels up there. You usually stay in inns or B&Bs type of things. It's very rustic up there. It's called the Marquesas Islands, and they're part of French Polynesia. And they're up here. The Papeete is down here somewhere. And you fly up to the Marquesas Islands. They have 2 airports there that most people go to. Excuse me. But it's really, it's 100 years behind the rest of the islands. Well, not the rest of all the islands, like the Gambiers and some of them. They're quite primitive. Not primitive, but they're like in the 50s. And so, but it's an interesting place up there. Very different. And if you go up there, stay at least 2 days, 3 days on each of the 2 major islands, and you'll enjoy that. If you're that type of person. There's no nightlife to speak of. Everything's laid back. You never get out of shorts and a t-shirt, and just go wearing flip-flops or something. And it's a wonderful place. The people are really nice, but it's nothing to do. There's no shopping to speak of, except local souvenirs. And that's it. But that's what I like. But they have other islands, other than Mo'ore and Bora Bora. I've already mentioned them, like Rangiroa and Huahine. That are magnificent islands. They have overwater bungalow hotels and other hotels. But they're very remote. The beaches are marvelous, and you'll rarely see anybody on them except the people at the hotel. So it's just for the people that want to totally get away. But you have to go to Mo'orea, and you have to go to Bora Bora, and stay at least the 3 or 4 days, 4 or 5 nights. You have to do it. Now, if you don't even stay you should stay maybe 1 full day, 2 nights in Papeete. But you don't have to. It's not mandatory, but the town's neat to walk around. It's really neat. It's going back a long time ago. You'll think of some of the famous South Pacific authors, and it's just fabulous. Now, there's one thing that I have to mention to you, that if you have the time, it's like 1 week, 2 weeks, is take the Aranui 5. I took the 1 and 2, and what they are, I guess you might call them a ferry boat, a small like Greyhound bus. Every one of them is a boat that goes by boat up to the Marquesas Islands, and you stop usually at 1 or 2 of these islands in between, and you get up to the Marquesas, and you stay there maybe a day, and then you come back, or you can just take it to there and then fly back. So I mean, it's neat because you have the local Tahitians there, and they are phenomenal to talk to. And at night they get the ukuleles out and they're singing and carrying on, and it's really neat.
What island is that, Jerry?
No, it's a boat.
No, from what island?
Oh, you board it in Papeete.
Papeete. Okay.
Yeah, you board it in Papeete, and you start. They have sort of different itineraries sometimes, and you will go up to the Marquesas. You see about 2 Marquesas, and then you come back. And that's about a 2-week trip. That may be a little bit long, a little bit boring for most people, because they have a little bar, a little restaurant thing, but it's mainly I don't want to say a cargo ship because it's not, but it is. But they do have cabins. When I went on RNRE1 back in the 60s, it was unbelievable. I mean, 80% of the people slept on the deck.
What's the name of that again, you say?
RNOE.
RNOE 1.
Well, that's the first boat.
Okay.
and they had, it's Aranui, Aranui. And in those days, it was a small boat, and they only had like 3 cabins, and you had to book a long time in advance because the foreigners wanted the cabins. And if you didn't do that and you want to go, you step on the deck with the Tahitians. But it was fun because I stepped in the cabin, but you'd go out there until 1 or 2 in the morning. They'd be playing the ukulele and having a good time. And so it's a fabulous place to go.
So are those are not tourist boats. They're like cargo ships.
Yeah, they're not. It's not. Now they're up to the 5th. Oh, it's big. It's almost international as far as the character of the islands. It's become more what's the word? Boring, because you have so many cabins now, and not too many sleep on the deck and things. But it's still where they go. You go because of the atmosphere. It's better than flying.
So they're still cargo ships, but they become more touristy because they, in addition to the cargo, they are carrying more passengers as well.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and they have more cabins for them,
Okay.
and which just makes it almost like a small cruise ship. I mean, they don't have anybody for entertainment or anything, because you're stopping at the islands, and that's the entertainment. But it is absolutely amazing. I really recommend going to those islands. Bora Bora is one of my favorite islands in the world. When you're sitting on your deck of the overwater bungalow, looking at the lagoon and the mountain. They're jagged. You've seen pictures of them. And if you haven't, you do need to see them because you'll be on the next flight. It is spectacular. Okay.
What was the name of the island? The island where you said you could join the crew of a sailboat if you wanted to?
Oh, that's did I say that?
Yeah.
Well,
I thought so.
okay. Well, on the RNI-5, because there's so much dead time,
Okay, these are the cargo ships we were talking.
it's a cargo ship.
Okay, did he say something about sailboats? Sailboats as well?
There is sort of, what is it called? The Windjammer. I think it's the Windjammer,
Okay.
or the Windstar.
And you said there are skippers that are looking for crews.
No. There's other boats you can take around the island, not going to clear the Marquesas. One of them is the Windstar, I think it is. The Windstar or is it Windstar? I think it's the Windstar. It's the one that has about 4 sails, and they sail between about 4 or 5 islands in a week. And it's a wonderful trip, but it's like taking a cruise around the Caribbean islands. It's very touristy, but it does have a lot of the atmosphere. I've done it once, and it's fun for the right people.
So did you go as a passenger or did you
Oh
join the
no.
crew?
Okay, no, we're talking about 2 things. I went as a passenger on the Windstar. I think it's Windstar. I should have looked it up. I haven't done it in 30 years. And you pay money, and it's expensive. It's an expensive cruise, and it's worth every penny. But they go to about 4 islands, and you start and end in Papeete. And it's a good overview. Now, the one I was talking about where you can join the crew, no, you just go down to the harbor in Papeete, and they have a row of a lot of sailboats, motorized boats. And every now and then you see one that says crew needed. And if you have the time and it sounds interesting, you know how to work a boat or steer a boat or want to learn to do a sailboat or whatever, just stop by and says, I have the time, I have the interest, and maybe they'll hire you. Just ask them where they're going.
Did you ever do that?
No.
You never did.
No, I should not admit this, but I hate sailboats. I get seasick. One of my very good friends has a sailboat. Well, it's not a sailboat. It's a yacht, and it does have sails on it. And they keep it in the winter in the Mediterranean and winter in the Caribbean, in the Virgin Islands, and they keep it in Mediterranean in Greece in our summer, and their summer too. But I have gone on it and I throw up. I mean, it's big. It's big. I don't know how big, but it can sleep easy. 10, 15 people maybe. It's big, but at night I just get so sick. So we always have to pull into a town, and I stay in a hotel and everybody else is on the boat. And but no, I get very seasick on the small little sailboat thing. Oh, I could get on one of those things. They could give me $1,000 a day and I wouldn't even think of getting on it. I'd be so sick I'd dehydrate and die. Yeah, before I got 4 days away from land or something. No, I personally wouldn't. But I know several people that have done it and they love it. Just absolutely love it. And it's a good way to see the world if you want to spend the time fighting the South Pacific waves and storms. I have been on some terribly rough water on boats down going between New Zealand and Australia. That is unbelievable. Right here, that can be unbelievably rough. And I did it one time and couldn't wait to get off because I was so seasick. And then there's several places in the world that are horrible to go on. One of them is, and I've done it, but we had good weather. It goes through the Drake Passage over here around South America, and it can be awful. Awful. And sometimes they go around this way, and that's just as awful. When it's having a storm or just under normal conditions. When we get over to South America and talk about that, we'll mention the one cruise that is fabulous. And usually they rarely ever encounter the rough water because they know what they're doing. All right.